Well, good evening, race fans, and welcome to Darlington, South Carolina, to the track Too Tough to Tame, right here on the iRacing platform. This is Turn 3 Racing Network's Upstate Al, bringing you all tonight's racing action here tonight for the American Sim Racing Club Street Stock Scrambler Series, and tonight is going to be a good one. We have 14 cars registered here at the track Too Tough to Tame. We will see who will get the Darlington stripe and who will not. We will see what happens here. These cars have been packed up all practice long. They put on a great show in practice. I expect the same here in the race. Just a little bit over a few minutes left of practice. They are in their driver's meeting as we take a look at tonight's rundown of events here for the ASRC Street Stock Scrambler Series. Like I said, we are at Darlington with a nice warm 80 degrees Fahrenheit. That is the track temperature, 77 and 58% humidity here tonight. We'll have live qualifying for our groups, followed by our first of two 25-lap features, which will see almost a full field invert here tonight. We will find out who will come out on top for week 3 of 12 for the ASRC Street Stock Scrambler Series, and we thank you all for tuning on in here tonight. We hope you enjoyed tonight's broadcast, as I sure do. Make sure you hit that thumbs up. If you have not subscribed to the channel, make sure you do that as well. You get notified every time that we go live here racing on the Turn 3 Racing Network, whether it is the ASRCs, whether it's the Sunday night for the Pro Late Model Dirt Series, or Tuesday night with Brett Hahn with their Cup Series, or here tonight on Wednesday for the ASRC Street Stock Scrambler Series. We want to thank you for tuning on in. Make sure you hit that thumbs up. These drivers go back, they see that, they'll race even harder. The more thumbs up that they see, it means you guys are enjoying the show and enjoying the racing. Well, qualifying is going to be up in just a moment, and while we wait for that, we will be right back here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. You are watching the ASRC Scrambler Series.
Bowling brings people together.
Right down the middle. You got it. Uh-oh. Good job.
See what you can do, man.
Oh! Wait.
That's a strike right there.
Woo!
Connect with family and friends. Go bowling.
With the Butt Kicker Gamer 2, what you see and what you hear is what you feel. Butt Kicker. The future is feeling.
The most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic, real-world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $400,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
And welcome back here to the Darlington Raceway, with practice going to be getting the checkered flag here just momentarily as we get ready to go with tonight's ASRC Street Stock Scrambler Series. And top of the board is Jeff Dillon in practice. He'll be the last car to go out in qualifying here tonight, as qualifying will come out onto the racetrack next as the cars take a reset. Drivers take a moment to get themselves ready to go here tonight for qualifying for tonight's 25 lap feature event. Feature 1, 25 laps, then we'll have a 12 car invert, and then a second 25 laps here tonight at Darlington as cars get ready to come out onto the racetrack. Let's take and get a look at them. It looks like they're all going to come out on the racetrack. So group qualifying here on this big track. As we take a look at the 31 of Zach Coyer in that black and blue. Number 31, so everybody getting out onto the racetrack for their qualifying event. We'll take a look here. Here is the number 18 of Devin McDonald out of Newfoundland last week. So this is a big track here tonight. We look at the 38 of Patton working down here into turns 3 and 4. We'll see when the first lap gets posted, and it'll be with this group. So we'll stay right here on Patton. We'll wait and see. Qualifying time for feature number 1 up onto the racetrack, and Nick Fleury gonna post the fast time so far with a 34.19 for Fleury. Swank running second in number 35. Right now they're using the draft to their benefit. Big track, these street stocks do punch a big hole. As we take a look here, as 35 of Swank will peel off of the racetrack. Nick Fleury still sitting on top of the board. Now David Patton going to 3rd overall right here. So we take a look at how much time is left. Looks like a 10-minute qualifying session to put in their best time. David Patton, we go on board with him. He sits 3rd overall. Can he post a better time this time by Patton on lap number 3? Goes a little bit quicker, but still will stay in 3rd. Evans up the racetrack as they start to peel off. So it looks like everybody getting their 3 laps and calling it in. Here's your fastest man on track, the number 25 of Nick Fleury, the driver out of Hudsonville, Michigan, is your fast time award winner. So currently atop of the board as he has pulled it to the pits. Here's the 051 of Brad Pringer. In the 051. He'll go 4th overall. So you put up there, you see how close the times are. Here in our qualifying, 13 drivers of the 14 have taken time. So everybody back out onto the racetrack here, getting back up to speed, trying to take down the 25 of Nick Fleury Flurry sitting up on the top there. He has got the 48 of Rogers behind him. Rogers currently sits 6th overall in that number 48, the Skull Bandit racing team. So he worked down the back stretch. So just a little over 5.5 minutes left to go in this qualifying time. And you see the drivers getting wound up here. We'll see going across the line if anybody in this group improves as they come across the stripe. Everybody stays right where they were. To start this lap time. See the 48 getting loose down there. Flurry into the outside wall, and you're going to want to watch out not to do that in tonight's race. Hayden Swank coming back on the racetrack. How about John Kane? He is in the number 9 here tonight. A lot of these drivers had to go back home, rebuild their cars after last week's Eldora race. It was fun to watch. Good racing there at Eldora in these race cars. John DeMeister also here in attendance here tonight. He is currently 13th overall. 11th goes to Franklin Evans, who sits on pit road. Zach Coyer is 10th. The field separated by just less than a second here in qualifying, and that doesn't mean anything because, well, someone might have went out there with no drafting help. See everybody working on getting up to speed, getting the best laps that they can. 25 laps is a long time around here at Darlington. They come up off the corner down the back stretch. Turn 1 really wide open. Turn 3 and 4, you got to turn that wheel just a little bit more, a little bit out of the gas. Let that car take a set as they have a minnow pond right behind turn number 4. Hayden Swank now to your number 2 spot. Patton still third. Pringer, McDonald, a new fast time now to the 48 of Tim Rogers, setting a new fast time with a 34.14 here for qualifying for feature number 1. Go on board with our fast time with a 34.14. Can anybody top him? David Patton now up to second. Brett Hahn third. Nick Flurry now. Brett Hahn to the point. And the number 71 right there. Now Devin McDonald in the 18 goes fastest with a 34.10. 34.10. So time's picking up here towards the end of practice. We'll see if McDonald can hold on to it for the last 2 minutes. So it's McDonald, Hahn, Rogers, Patton, and Flurry. Flurry held on to the top spot for a while here. McDonald still up on the point. This one, Hahn is second. You see the 18 McDonald get a little bit loose. Here comes Hayden Swank out on the racetrack. Brad Prenger is on track trying to get a nice flyer here. We'll see here, Prenger coming across the stripe. Can he go quicker? Last time by was at 35.51, so no. Just 1 minute left to go. We'll see if anybody can top out Devin McDonald. John, nice to see you out there. Yeah, they're going to be 2 and 3 wide most of the night. That's how they were in practice here. So it's going to be a good race tonight. Few guys out of town after the Easter holiday weekend could not make it. The drivers that did, they're going to put on a good show for you. We got Devin McDonald up on the point of this one. Brett Hahn, 2nd overall. Tim Rogers, 3rd. David Patton and Nick Fleury rounding out your top 5. Hayden Swank right there. Back there. Now Rogers up to the number 2 spot. That'll deplace the number 71 of Hahn with 9 seconds remaining here in qualifying for feature number 1. Qualifying coming to a close here. As they do so, we will get ready with tonight's starting lineup. Starting on the pole will be the number 18. This is Devin McDonald. McDonald starting on the inside of row number 1. To his outside will be car number 48, the Skull Bandit Racing. Car number 48, this is Tim Rogers. Starting on the inside of row number 2 in the 3rd starting spot, the number 71, this is Brett the Jet Hahn. Hahn will start 3rd, and outside of him and his dancing partner in row number 2, the number 38, this is David Patton. Nick Fleury will roll off on the inside of row number 3, and outside of him with the number 35, this is Hayden Swank. Brad Pranger and Jeff Dillon will make up row number 4, starting 7th and 8th respectfully. Zach Coyer in car number 31 will roll off in spot number 9. 10th starting spot will go to the number 59, that is Nathan Henry. Nathan Henry in car number 59. Franklin Evans in row number 6 will start 11th, and John Kane outside of him in our 13th and final starter here tonight. Well, it'll be the number 2 of John DeMeester. So DeMeester will roll off 13th here tonight. That'll be our 13 starting cars here for feature number 1. 25 laps is the distance. And McDonald getting his first pole of the season here from Time Trials. Pace truck will pull down into the safe haven of pit road. 25 laps onto the board. Our first green flag of the night getting ready to come out here as they come up off of turn number 4. And into the restart zone they come. Green is up and we are underway. McDonald right down here in the turns 1 and 2 on the inside lane, 2x2. Everybody trying to mind their P's and Q's, get the tires up to temperature. Come up off of turn number 2 and down the backstretch. It'll be the 18 of McDonald showing the way. Rogers, Hahn, all back there 2x2. Oh, we already got one into the fence. That's the 48 of Tim Rogers. Oh, hang on. Big trouble. Oh, big trouble. That's going to take out a lot of cars down here. Hayden Swank involved. The 62 of Jeff Dillon. It looks like the 48 of Rogers had gotten the outside retaining wall, and that caused everybody to check up. Let's go back here and see what happened with this one. Back here looking at the 051, you see Rogers in the outside wall. Oh, David Patton nowhere to go. Pranger goes around. Hard contact back here with Jeff Dillon as well. Let's go on board with the driver of the 38. Ooh, hard contact. Gotta wonder if there is suspension damage to the 38. Let's go high above the racetrack here with Franklin Evans, who is involved in this one. Oh, Evans, just nowhere to go. A lot of cars down on pit road, getting some damage fixed. After this one, Rogers from the outside pole back to second. But David Patton down here on pit road. Tough break for the driver. Tim Rogers, like I said, out there. You got Jeff Dillon on pit road. He lost the front clip of that car. So these drivers might make it back out. But it's going to be some tough sledding here. They might just have to roll out the backup car for feature number 2. So the pace car lights are still on. So we go on board with the pace car. The field down to 7 cars out on the racetrack circulating. Caution laps will count tonight, I believe. No, they do not. No caution laps do not count. So the cars down on pit road can spend as much time as they need to down there trying to get the damage fixed to get back out there. So I do apologize for that, for giving you some false information. So you got Franklin Evans down on pit road, Nathan Henry on pit road, Zach Coyer, Jeff Dillon, and David Patton all on pit road. John DeMeester back out onto the racetrack in his number 2. He looks like he'll be coming back down pit road. So a tough way to get started. Not one lap into the books there, and a big one in turn number 4. So DeMeester gonna go bypass pit road. Zach Coyer back out onto the racetrack with his 31. Nathan Henry rolling back out as well. David Patton still sits on pit road. Franklin Evans going to get back out onto the racetrack. As Devin McDonald, your race leader, will lead the field back to the green flag. Brett Hahn on the outside now. Green flag going to come back up. It'll put start lap number 2. Scoring will update. Don't you worry out there. I want to thank everybody for tuning on in as the green flag is back up, and Devin Rogers jumping back onto the gas pedal. Brett Hahn back into that number 2 spot. Side by side behind him is Swank and Fleury. Good battle back there for the 3rd spot. Swank trying to use the momentum on the outside. Can he make it stick in the turn 3? Up the racetrack goes Swank. He'll have to get back out of it. Here comes Fleury. Fleury trying to make a look down to the inside underneath the 71. His timing and scoring does update. 23 laps to go. Like I said, Brett Hahn trying to chase down Devin McDonald 2 by single file now fashion as they work down the back stretch. McDonald now Hahn down to the inside. They'll make contact. McDonald trying to shut the door on him. That breaks the momentum, and here comes Nick Fleury. Flurry around the outside said, well, you boys are going to rub some fenders. I'm just going to drive right on by you. New race leader, the 25 of Nick Flurry. Flurry down to the into your race lead. McDonald second, and one more car out of shape there. That was the 051 of Pranger. He's lost a few spots down the backstretch. Swank now into that number 3 spot as they come up off the turn number 4. Devin McDonald with a look down to the inside underneath Nick Flurry. Here's a bed for your race lead. Down in the turn 1 they go. Oh, hang on to it. Rogers got a little bit loose out of the wheel, really working it on the entrance as they go 2 by 2, 2 rows deep now. Hahn taking over the 3rd spot from Swank, but they're still side by side for your race lead. McDonald, your pole sitter, would like to get back to the race lead as he works underneath the 25 of Nick Flurry. Flurry down on the outside. It'll be 20 laps to go at the stripe. 2 drivers still on pit road, Jeff Dillon and David Patton, and it's unfortunate. They had very fast race cars here tonight. You will get back out in the action. Oh, hang on to it. McDonald and Flurry make some contact. Brett Hahn right back into the action. So we watch this battle for your race lead. Still side by side as they come off turn number 4. Great battle as we take a look from the high, from above. Oh, Flurry kissing that outside wall just slightly as they battle side by side. That's allowed Hahn to get right back into it. And right, don't look now. 35 of Swank and the 48 of Rogers starting to close the gap on this trio up on the front of this one. McDonald with the nose out front at the stripe. They were about dead even. Down. I would let the photograph tell me who won that one. Flurry now to the outside once again. Still stuck out there. These drivers have made some contact a few times. Down in the turns 1 and 2s, they're leaning on each other once again. This time, Flurry up the racetrack, and that'll give the 18 of McDonald full possession of that race lead for the first time since we've gone back green flag racing. Just 8 laps to go. Flurry going to regroup now as we go on board with the 25. Oh, McDonald got loose off the corner. Here they come side by side. Hahn going to try to fill the void underneath the 18 as well. They make some contact. These cars putting on a great show here. In feature number 1. McDonald back to the 3rd spot. Swank trying to pedal as fast as he can to catch up to this group. See him right there behind them. They run single file. Flurry, your race leader. Hahn right to the back bumper, and he's got the 18 of McDonald there as well. One driver in the outside wall. I believe that was the 051 of Pranger. John Kane up to the 7th spot after starting towards the back of the field. He's up 5 positions here tonight. Now make it 4 as the 61 of Evans rolls on by. So John Kane, Franklin Evans, 7th and 8th. Right behind them, Nathan Henry making his first start of the season with us. Good to have Henry out there with the 31 of Zach Coyer. He was involved in that first wreck as well. Everybody trying to get into their groove as they go side by side. For spot number 8, Coyer trying to work the outside of the racetrack. Can he make a run on Nathan Henry? Back up at the front, the top 3 still nose to tail. Flurry showing the way. Over Hahn and McDonald. Hayden Swank runs in spot number 4. Fifth is Rogers. Down to the inside is McDonald trying to make a run on the 71 of Hahn. Can't do anything with it. Tuck it back in line. 12 circuits to go here in feature number 1. Jeff Dillon and David Patton back out onto the racetrack, logging some laps, trying to make some notes for feature number 2. See them working the wheel. We are on board with your race leader of Nick Fleury. You can see just how rough the racetrack is. They're bounced around and how they have to work the wheel in these street stocks. Not just left, but both left and right. As they work down the back stretch. Going to come up on the slower traffic. Here, will that play a factor for your race leaders? Jeff Dillon down low off the pace. He had heavy front end damage in that wreck. Brett Hahn with a run off of turn number 4. Can he do anything with it? He can't. Right to the back bumper. And giving him a shove down here in the turn number 1. Top 5 cars, nose to tail. With just 10 laps to go. David Patton going to bail out, let the driver settle. Does that off. The 35 was Swank way down low, trying to make something happen. Rogers sees that. He says, I'll just keep the foot in it and try to get her on the outside. And as they do so, the top 3 will start to pull away from these 2. So they work down here in the turns 1 and 2. On board with Rogers now. In that number 48. See his best time. Tires really starting to fall off now. McDonald trying to make a run to the inside underneath Hahn. Can he make it happen? McDonald down low. Flurry to the outside. Has McDonald saved some tires left here? Just like that, 5 cars underneath the blanket for your race lead. Fleury still leads this one. He'll get 7 to go this time, up off of turn number 4 and down the long front stretch. McDonald down low. You got to wonder if all that time running side by side with Fleury, did he learn something? Did it wear out those tires? Devin McDonald trying to work the inside of Brett Hahn, and Nick Fleury is loving this in his rearview mirror. So he starts to pull away, about 3 car length advantage now over the battle for second. Oh, Rogers into the outside wall once again. In turns 3 and 4, the lady in black reaches out and grabs the Skull Bandit racer. Brett Hahn now trying to diamond up off the corner. Does he make a move to the inside? He will. Underneath Nick Fleury, bid for your race lead, coming to 5 laps to go here in feature number 1. Hahn down to the inside. Can he make it stick? Not yet. Which lane will McDonald go with? He gives a push to the 71 of Hahn. And now, Nick Fleury and Swank get to the outside wall. More contact between Fleury and McDonald. So far, we stay green, but around will go to 18 and McDonald. Not sure if that'll bring out the yellow flag. Hard contact as the yellow flag will come out. Oh, boy, that was some hard contact there as McDonald got stuck to the 25 of Fleury and left front damage on the 18 of McDonald. You can see that tire just stuck. He's going to have a hard time turning it. Let's take a look back here and see what happened. Look in the quarter and you see, the 35 of Swink got loose, got in the right rear quarter panel, and then Devin and Nick Fleury could not make it, and then the 18 spins it around, and at that point, everybody's just full send. Very fast part of the racetrack right there. Let's go on board. You can see the traffic coming. Oh, hard hit there. Let's come back live as Rogers down on pit road. I believe that also was David Patton involved. So it'll be a 3-lap shootout, I believe, when we go back to green flag racing. 4 laps, excuse me. Your race leader, based on the last lap completed, will be the 25 of Nick Fleury, but you got to wonder, is that car wounded? It should be a single file restart. We are under 10 laps to go as we are slowed for the second time here tonight. Fleury's car beat and battered. They'll have to see if they'll pull the backup car out after this one for feature number 2. Brett Hahn in that number 2 position. So we'll take and see what happens with that. So lights are still out on the racetrack. Tim Rogers started in that number 2 spot. He has made contact with that outside wall a couple times here tonight. David Patton going to get one of the laps back. He is down multiple. But out there trying to salvage a position or two, you never know. It could make the difference at the end of the championship. We're hoping to get some championship standings to you guys next week. Go over that after we'll have 3 races into the books early on in this racing season for the American Sim Racing Clubs, a street stock Scrambler series. Still got another 25-lap feature coming up after this one. So the field going to get single file. Lights go out on top of the pace car. A couple drivers still on pit road. Nathan Henry, John Kane, Devin McDonald. There, I suspect we'll see them in feature number 2 if they do not make it back out for this one. The number 2 of John DeMeester quietly inside the top 5 from his 13th starting spot. Hayden Swank back here in spot 6. Zach Coyer got the damage fixed, so he finds himself inside the top 10. Pace truck down and away. Nick Fleury going to lead the field to the green flag. Brett Hahn, Tim Rogers in spot number 2 coming to the green. They are back underneath the, and Nick Fleury with a big jump over Hahn. Gotta wonder, did Hahn do that on purpose just in case something is broke on that 25? The wily old veteran, as he works the outside of the racetrack, trying to get a momentum on the 25. He does. He'll cut it down to the inside. Fleury unable to make any attempt at a block there, and here comes Tim Rogers. Tim Rogers going to go for second as Brett Hahn to the race lead. As they come up off the corner. Side by side, 3 laps to go for your number 2 position. It is Rogers down low. Fleury to the outside. Here comes Franklin Evans in that 61. So you got Nick Fleury back to 3rd. Brett Hahn showing the way. .48 shot out of a cannon there. Right there to the back side as the popsicle sticks will be up. It'll be 2 laps to go as they come across the line. 2 to go. Who is it going to be here for feature number 1? Brett Hahn shows the way. Needs a good showing. Has had a rough start to the season. A win here could go a long ways for him. Franklin Evans to the outside wall. Hayden Swank down low. Heavy smoke from the 35. We're back up front. Tim Rogers trying to make something happen. The white silk will fly. The final trip around the Darlington Speedway here in feature number 1. Rogers to the back bumper. Who is it going to be? Through turns 1 and 2. Hans gets a little bit sideways. Rogers unable to do anything with him down low. Hahn will block him. Down to the inside, 2 by 2. Brett Hahn trying to keep the outside with the momentum. Tim Rogers down low. Up off of turn number 4. They're going to be side by side, but with the momentum on the outside, it'll be the 71 of Hahn. Holding on to feature number 1. Tim Rogers will be second. 3rd will go to Nick Fleury. Evans and Coyer will round out your top 5. And that'll put feature number 1 into the books. Brett Hahn going to pick that win up, as he will now have to come from 12th in the next race. And Brett Hahn will bring the 71 down here to pit road. And we will try to take and get a word with the fellow broadcaster here on the Turn 3 Racing Network as we bring him down here. Sure, we'll let him get a quick drink, but we'll get a quick word in with the number 71 of Brett Hahn as he is down here celebrating the 71. Brett Hahn climbing out of the car just for a moment. A little worn out looking, Brett, but good win in feature number 1. The bad news is you're going to start 12th here in feature number 2.
Thank you very much, Al. Yeah, it was definitely a wild one with the draft and whatnot. And yeah, we're going to start deep in this next one. Pretty much a full field invert. It's going to be a wild one.
Yeah, talk about the racing out there. We've seen the draft really coming into effect here tonight. I will say I was kind of expecting that, but didn't think it was going to be that big of an effect here with the street stocks. But it looks like you can really get a good draft, and you have to manage that run. How difficult is that?
Yeah, Al, it's a big time management, I tell you what. And also a big thing is the tires. Let me tell you what, these things wear the right rear in a hurry, especially if you're diving into the corner. So that's why mid-run you kind of saw the pace really drop off. Everyone trying to keep that right rear underneath them. But, yeah, you get some massive runs and side draft. I mean, Tim Rogers side drafted me at the start-finish line and kind of got a little bit of run. I was almost a little worried there coming to the checkered.
Yeah, that was the closest finish of the season so far. We saw him try to get that run, then you went to the outside. Did you think that running the outside would keep that momentum where he couldn't be able to get that kind of a run on you?
Yeah, that was exactly it, Al. Just trying to keep that momentum up top and, yeah, not let Tim move me against the wall. As long as I kept it out of the wall, we were set sailing, and that's exactly what we did. We got to apologize to Devin. Got into him on the initial laps there in the left rear, just trying to make a move early, see how big of a runs we could get, and just got a little too tight entering 3 there.
So you're going to have to come from 12th here in feature number 2. What can you take from this feature 1 that's going to help you maybe get back to the front side of the field here in feature number 2?
Yeah, Al, for sure. Just saving that right rear at first, taking your time, avoid the big one. We saw the big one on lap 1, and I think we'll have another one here, especially with the shakeup. So just keeping the car underneath me, keeping it not damaged, and then using that draft to start picking off people and just rolling that inside line, especially 3 and 4 tonight, Al.
All right, buddy. We'll let you take a breather, get back out on the racetrack, whatever you want to do. But before we do, we'll roll the red carpet out for you. Who makes it all possible for this 71 to be in victory lane here in feature number 1?
Yeah, of course, all the Brett the Jet fans out there, thanks again for tuning on in, cheering me on. I know we got my grandma, Grammy, Jesse, my mom and dad, I think, out here. Of course, you, Al, and Turn 3 Racing Network, the best broadcasting out there. Be sure to tune into them weekly. And QuickTime Motorsports Media, Tanner putting on an awesome league and all these paint schemes. So I think that's about it. Also, the teammates, Nick Fleury, Tim Rogers, and Dave Payton working together, especially in qualifying.
All right, buddy. Well, good luck here in feature number 2, and get to grid there so you're not late.
All righty. Thank you very much, Al. Have a good one.
There you go. That is Brett Hahn, tonight's feature 1 winner. And now we get ready to go with feature number 2, and we, alluded to it. Brett is going to have to start in spot number 12. But on the pole here tonight for feature number 2, the next 25 laps, it'll be David Patton, and car number 38 outside of him will be the 051 of Brad Pringer. Nathan Henry will start 3rd, and outside of him will be the number 9 of John Kane. Devin McDonald will roll off 5th, into his outside, the number 35 of Hayden Swank. John DeMeester will roll off 7th in the car number 2 on the inside of row number 4. And outside of him in car number 31, this is Zach Coyer. Starting 9th on the grid in car number 61, this is Franklin Evans, and outside of him, the number 25 of Nick Fleury. Tim Rogers will start to the inside of row number 6, and then the outside of him, the feature 1 winner, the number 71, this is Brett Hahn. John DeMeester will roll off again, and that'll be your 12-car field. I believe DeMeester will roll off 13th, just like Brad Pringer, missing the grid. So that'll be your 13-car field here tonight. Is the 38 of David Patton. He was quick in practice, quick in qualifying. Got caught up there in that first wreck in feature number 1. And now, going to have the pole here tonight in feature number 2. 25 laps will be the distance once again. Pace truck down and away. Feature 2 about to go green. Who is it going to be? Green flag is up. Patton going to jump on the loud pedal first as they come across the stripe here in feature number 2. We are underway, and Patton going to jump out to the early race lead over John Kane. Kane to the outside. Swank working the outside of McDonald. McDonald quickly up into that 3rd spot. Now make it 2nd. And talking to Brett in that first feature interview, you really have to take care of the tires. So we're going to have to see if people run a little bit smarter, I guess would be the right wording. That a little bit less reckless in this feature. Lap into the books, going to go to Patton out front of McDonald. Swank in third now. John Kane working the outside. Here comes Nick Fleury as they run 2x2. Your top 5, all single file. Jeff Dillon, we didn't get to see what he could do in feature number 1. He works underneath the 71 of Brett Hahn. Everybody quickly getting into that single file fashion. Maybe to log some laps, let these tires start to wear out. Then you can make some groove. It's the new fast time of the race. Going to go to the number 18 of Devin McDonald with a 34.13. So McDonald, a fast car in the draft there. He's quickly up to the number 2 spot, taking a peek to the inside underneath Patton as they have separated themselves from Swank. So right now, curious to see if McDonald just comfortable to kind of ride there in spot number 2, maybe save the car a little bit. Behind him, Swank runs there in third, almost 1 second back. Then you go back here to the 9 of John Kane. Kane in spot 4. Here comes Tim Rogers down to the inside underneath Coyer. Coyer going to give him the lane down here in the turns 3 and 4. Coyer up the racetrack, a little bit sideways. Tim Rogers now will move into the top 5 for the first time here this evening. So he slides up in front of the 31 of Coyer. Fleury runs back here in 7th, and Brett Hahn already up to the 8th spot. Remember, he had to start 12th after the 12-car invert here. For all your Brad Pranger fans, tough break for Brad. Not able to continue on here tonight, but we appreciate his efforts. And make sure you hit that thumbs up for these drivers. They get all worked up over that. They say it motivates them to come out here and put on a good show for you guys each and every week. And we really like that you guys tune in each and every Wednesday night here for the Scrambler series. Here with just 28 laps to go in what has become a little bit of a tamer opening stint. As we go high above the racetrack, you can see Fleury now trying to get underneath the 31 of Coyer up off of turn number 4. Everybody really right across the stripe there. Jeff Dillon back here in spot number 10 as he'll get around the 59 of Henry. Is Demeester able to continue on back here in spot number 12? He is some almost 10 seconds back from your race leader. McDonald with a little bit of a pressure now, as they got a big enough gap, they feel that maybe they can start to race it out, and McDonald wanting to race lead from David Patton. Patton to the outside here, relegated there as McDonald filled the hole down low. And just like that, here comes Hayden Swank. As we go on board with him, you can see those two cars making a big hole in the air. And Swank able to draw right up to him. Patton's car looking a little bit loose as now McDonald will take over the race lead. McDonald to the point. Swank is third as he closes in there. So the top 3 cars now nose to tail. Tim Rogers running in 4th. Zach Coyer 5th. As he is able to hold off the advances of the 25 of Nick Fleury. Fleury back here 1 spot outside of the top 5. '61 of Evans runs 8th. 9th is Jeff Dillon, who is trying to catch to the sniff of the drafters. He has left the 59 of Henry and the 9 of John Kane. and trying to close in on that front pack. Now the 35 is swing down to the inside underneath David Patton. Door panel to door panel through turns 3 and 4. Oh, contact on the front stretch. Swank down to the apron. Patton has to save it. That's going to cost them drivers a lot of track position and momentum as a side draft gone wrong, but a nice save by both of those drivers. But a tough break for David Patton, who is running in that number 2 spot, now back to 7th. Devin McDonald now shows the way all by him lonesome up front here by just over a half second over this man, the 48 of Tim Rogers. Zach Coyer now runs in spot number 3. Coyer name well known around the iRacing leagues. A great driver. I've had the pleasure to race against and with Zach Coyer before. Nick Fleury into the outside wall. Hang on to it, Nick. He'll hold on to it, lose 1 spot to Brett Hahn, which now finds himself in spot number 4. McDonald showing the way. Rogers in spot number 2, and he has closed that gap now to just about a car length, if not less. Rogers almost picking up the win. He was about a half a car length from victory lane in feature number 1. Would love to go to victory lane here tonight. Can you get it done around Devin McDonald? Zach Coyer starting to feel the pressure, though, from the 71. And just like that, here comes Brett Hahn. The Jet putting the afterburners on it, trying to get back to the front. He is now on the podium here in feature number 2 with 11 circuits to go. Rogers down low for your race lead. No slight maybe tire rubs there off of those cars. Oh, hang on to it. Rogers gets down below that. There's a little bit of an apron there, and that'll really upset the race car. And while they were 2 by 2, that allowed Brett to get right back into it. Nick Fleury as well. So your top 5, 6 cars all within striking distance. McDonald's going to get pushed to the outside. Here comes the 48 of Rogers. They will lean on each other in the turns 1 and 2. Up off the corner, Hahn trying to do the crossover move off the corner. Brett Hahn right to the back bumper of Rogers. Didn't make a move that time off of turn number 4. Nick Fleury leading the next pack of cars. Back there, that's Evans and Coyer involved in that one. Another move by Rogers down here in the turn number 1. Didn't quite have position, and that has to check him up. That checks up Hahn as well. Hahn with a crossover move up off of turn number 2. Down the backstretch, Brett Hahn trying to take spot number 2 from the green 48. That is Rogers. And just like that, Brett Hahn now in the spot number 2, trying to chase down your race leader. Can he sweep the night? We have not had a driver do that yet this season. Devin McDonald's going to have to hold him as he gets a little bit loose that time on the entrance to turn number 1. He catches the race car. But now Brett Hahn right to the backside. Down to the inside. McDonald trying to throw a block. Brett Hahn backs out of it. Hahn down low. Oh, hang on to it. Devin is sideways. Whew. He holds on to it. He's lost some momentum here. Here comes Rogers now. So Devin McDonald, excuse me, into the outside wall. It might have heated up that right rear. Running the outside. Oh, hang on to it. Evans involved here down the backstretch. Some evasive drive in here. Here comes Patton and crew. And just like that, we're going to stay green after contact with McDonald's and Evans down the backstretch. Up front, the deja vu from feature number 1. Rogers down low. Hahn works the outside of the racetrack. We go on board. And look out the back here. They come off of turn number 4. Still side by side. 5 circuits to go. They got the high five from our flagger here tonight. In feature 2, which has been green flags as a drop of the rag. Brett Hahn trying to go back to back here tonight. Here comes Rogers to the inside. Nick Fleury there trying to play spoiler as well. It looks like Rogers going to clear the 71 of Hahn. Hahn with a crossover move off of turn number 4. 4 to go. Great battle up here between these two drivers. No contact made. That time the 48 of Rogers a little bit sideways. Hahn down low. Up the racetrack. Maybe slight contact there. Here comes Nick Fleury. Which lane is he going to go with? Or is he going to create his own? Fleury stayed to the backside of Hahn. Now gets some air on the front end of that car as they work up off the corner. 3 laps to go in what is a barn burner at the front of this one. 3 cars underneath the blanket. Here comes Coyer as well, as these guys battle it out here for the race lead. Rogers to the outside as they come into turns 3 and 4. Oh, Rogers in the outside wall. He's going to go back to 4th. Here comes David Patton with a nice rebound. He's going to slake 4th away. They're 3 wide at the line. Tim Rogers back to 7th after a fatal mistake. And now, with the Rabbit Ears up, 2 laps to go, Brett Hahn looking to sweep the night here at Darlington. Can he tame the Lady in Black? Can he keep the 25 of Nick Fleury behind him? Fleury to the back bumper as they enter the corner. Fleury trying to make a move on Brett Hahn. Can't do it that time off for final trip around the racetrack. White flag is out for the driver of the number 71. Fleury backing up, trying to get that momentum from the draft. Can he make anything happen? Hahn a little bit of a wiggle that time off turn number 4. Will he block the advances? Here comes Fleury to the inside. Fleury down low. Final trip. He'll send it into turn number 3. Up the racetrack he goes. He gets a little bit loose. Is that what Hahn needed? Don't count out Coyer up off of turn number 4. It'll be Brett Hahn sweeping the night at Darlington. Fleury will come home 2nd. Coyer 3rd. David Patton, nice rebound by him and Hayden Swank to finish 5th. Jeff Dillon 6th. 7th will go to Rogers, McDonald, Henry, Kane, and DeMeester. Rounding out the 11 cars left on the racetrack. Here Evans was down on pit road after that contact. But Brett Hahn picking up the win here tonight. Sweeping the night at Darlington. And what was a barn burner of a race here in feature number 2. Good, clean racing. Green to checkered. Here as Brett Hahn will come down on the front stretch. And look to burn it down. think he's done it a time or two. Hang on, don't hit that wall, Brett. Oh, boy. Don't scuff that race car. As he gets ready to burn it down, we'll be right back here on the Turn 3 Racing Network with your post-race show. And we'll talk to your top 3 coming right up.
iRacing is a sim racing game that combines a true-to-life racing experience with an online community of virtual racers from all around the globe. iRacing offers a multitude of officially licensed cars and tracks, laser scanned with millimeter accuracy. Their car models and mechanical systems are based on real-world physics, engineered in cooperation with manufacturers and race teams. Their skill license system ranges from rookie to pro, ensuring members are always pitted against those with similar skill sets. Members are able to sign up for a weekly race series, compete in time trials, host a private race with friends, and participate in racing leagues created and run by the community. With over 170,000 members, iRacing works in partnership with renowned motorsports organizations like NASCAR to deliver virtual races based on the real-life NASCAR Cup Series, as well as many other series on the NASCAR ladder. iRacing also features team racing, providing a variety of options for members to create and manage their own teams. Race with friends or real-world teammates in full-length endurance events like the 24 Hours of Daytona, Spa 24, or the Bathurst 12 Hour. Additional partners include IMSA, World of Outlaws, Supercars, and IndyCar, allowing members to race in their very own Indianapolis 500, Bathurst 1000, Chili Bowl, and many more iconic events. This is iRacing, delivering the most authentic racing experience short of getting into a real race car. Sign up today at iRacing.com.
Welcome back here to Darlington Raceway, where we are in our post-race show. We are catching up with the top 3 here from feature number 2, and we're going to catch up first with the driver of the number 31. Threw me a little bit off, Zach. Not your normal number, but a reverse of your normal number. Congratulations, buddy, on the top 3 here. You say you're mid-pack, Coyer, but I don't believe it.
Yeah, thank you. It's good to hear your voice again. Definitely not mid-pack in these cars. That's a going-on joke with the enemy of mine. He dubbed me mid-pack Coyer, so I just kind of ran with it. But definitely good to hear your voice again.
Yeah, I mean, talk about that race. We saw it wild. You're up front early, then kind of, I would say maybe got that outside wall, I think, and kind of fell back a little bit. And how did you regain all that track position to get back up here to a podium finish? The racing seemed very intense out there. You had to manage these cars. As you said, not a stranger to this car, so you know how to wheel it. But, man, how'd you get it done?
Well, after the first race, I noticed damage played a huge issue, so I just knew the second race I had to be safe and be smooth. And I got on the wall a couple times, and as soon as I did, I let off the gas to try my best to get off, and then I just gave her everything I got those last few laps, hoping Nick would get into Brett there, but nothing happened. It was an amazing race, and then yeah, I just gave her everything I had there at the end.
We saw a lot of respect here in feature number 2 here tonight. We saw a little bit of a mistake in feature 1 that caused a lot of damage to a lot of drivers that really didn't get to showcase what they had, and you were one of them in feature number 1. So it has to feel good that they can do a nice rebound and started towards the front, got back, and then finish up front. So it's a really good rebound for you in this race team.
Yeah, I'm like I said, I was frustrated with the first race and the second race. My teammate Jeff Dillon, he was keeping me in the game, keeping me level-headed, and I'm out here to points race, so I ain't gonna take anything too intense starting out this early in the season. I just want to have good, smooth, steady, consistent finishes.
Well, you
definitely more often.
Absolutely, we love to talk to you, Zach. Next week we head to Hickory for a short track challenge. So we've had a half mile at the fairgrounds on the dirt. Now we ran here at Darlington. Now the short track. These whoever made the schedule is really looking to challenge you guys. And what's your outlook for next week?
Well, I like to consider myself a short track specialist in street stock, so I'm definitely looking forward to it more than this. I actually made a big mistake. I took the car and practiced at Dover all week, and then when I got here, I was like, oh man, I'm in trouble. But I'm definitely happy we're going back to my roots next week in some short tracks and see if I can't get her back up here on the podium.
Well, congratulations for getting on the podium here tonight. First time this season. We hope to see you a little bit more here on the channel, as I know you have a lot of fans out there who makes it all possible for you to be here tonight on the podium.
I want to thank first and foremost my team, Matt Vade, Justin Black, Deer, Jeff Dillon, all of them for keeping me in the game, letting me know I can hang with the best of them. I want to thank you guys up in the booth. Thank Tanner for putting this awesome league on. I thank all the racers here, because like I said, it's been some amazing racing and clean racing. It's been an absolute blast so far.
Definitely has, Zach. We'll see you next week in Hickory, buddy. Until then, keep it wheels down, will you?
Yes, sir. I'll try. Thank you.
Zach Coyer, tonight's third place finisher. He will come home with a third place finish here in race number 2. And then we'll come to our second place finisher, the number 25 of Nick Fleury. And Fleury going to come home in that number 2 spot, but not for a lack of trying. Nick had a very fast car in feature number 1, did not get the results that, well, you deserved. And he come out here with a second place finish. And what else did you need out of this 25 to maybe just make that last move stick on the 71 of Hahn?
I needed a slower driver rather than Hahn. He's just fast and he's hard to get a leg up on. So it was a good, hard battle, and it was a lot of fun.
I said it looked like a lot of fun here tonight. I was talking during the broadcast where I didn't expect the draft to be that big of a big effect with the street stocks here on this big racetrack, but it was, and it kept you guys packed up. And it seemed like once you got side by side, it really brought the pack with you. So how calculated did you have to be when trying to make a move, knowing that you had a lot of fast guys behind you as well?
Yeah, because the draft didn't matter, but it wasn't only about the draft either. You also had to be careful about how you came off each corner, because if you got that right rear hot and just step out just a little bit, that draft still won't help and you won't get that run. So it's extremely difficult to balance everything and just be inch perfect, and then make sure you don't clobber the guy in the next corner.
And you had to worry about that the lady in black reaching out and ripping the right side of the car off as well, right?
Oh yeah. It's a tight little course. I mean, it's a very difficult track to drive smooth and keep it clean.
Yeah, you did a great job here tonight. You're coming home in that second place. Next week, well, we're going to head to a little track. We're going to head to Hickory in 1 week's time. How's the outlook for you and the 25 team as we head to Hickory for a little night of racing on the bull ring?
I don't have a whole lot of experience there, but I do love short track racing. Just no matter where I finish, it's a blast. So I'm really looking forward to it.
Well, congratulations, Nick, on a second place finish. I know you wanted that spot one spot better, but nothing to shake a stick at. Who makes it all possible for you in this 25 team to come up here on the podium in the runner-up position?
Yeah, first of all, my Lord and Savior, and then there's always my wife, as I always say, and then certainly my sponsors, CPM Incorporated, and then my teammates. We strategize a lot and come up with some good racing teamwork, and we have a lot of fun together, so I thank them a lot.
Well, congratulations. We look forward to hopefully talking to you in 1 week's time when we get to Hickory. Until then, we'll have a lot of fun, and we'll see you at the races.
Thank you very much.
There you go. That is Nick Fleury, tonight's second place finisher. And now we will head into our first place finisher, our winner of feature number 2. He's out here with a broom, and I'm not sure if he understands what that means or not, but we will find out as we take and bring up the number 71 of Brett Hahn onto the stage. And sir, you got a broom in your hand. I'm not sure if you understand what that stands for, but man, from the back to the front, I think you took what you learned in feature number 1 and put it to good use.
Darlington, and picking up 2 feature wins. I mean, how about that, fans? Wow, that was a heck of a race, Al. Hopefully that was exciting to call in the booth.
Yeah, I mean, you're sitting out here. I mean, you have a broom. You sweep at probably a challenging track. We just talked to Nick, and he said how challenging it is to be perfect. You come up through the field in a green to checker 25-lap run here. Pretty impressive. Man, how did you get it done from that far back? You had a lot of fast race cars to get by to get up to the front here.
Yeah, Al, it's all about momentum and choosing your passes right. I mean, back in the day, you know, my dad would love the story. We did quarter midgets, and he kept me in a lower horsepower class as a kid. He says, I really want you to learn passing. And that's what I did. Really had to worry about momentum and really make my moves kind of a lap before my head and really plan them out. And I tell you what, Darlington used that to my advantage. I would kind of time up a big run off it too. And that was my favorite spot to dive down below someone. And then the hard part, Al, was keeping them behind with, I mean, we saw how crazy the draft was. It's all about hitting your marks and just keeping that momentum on the top side. And we did just that, and luckily Nick's an awesome racer, raced me clean and whatnot, and he got me clear, raced me clean till the end.
Yeah, I mean, you had a great run here. Nick Fleury came down to the inside in the turn number 3. What were you thinking at that point? Did you think when he really threw it in there, were you concerned, and then he got a little bit loose, and then you were able to drive right back by him around the outside?
Yeah, Al, it comes back and forth, you know, with loose, tight race cars. You know, you push for a lap, you start heating up that right rear, and that thing starts stepping out from underneath it. We saw that with, I think, Devin McDonald, Tim Rogers also getting a piece of the wall. And yeah, that last lap, I just knew I had to keep my foot in it, keep that right rear underneath me for at least 3 and 4. And then by the time I heard Nick's tires big time squealing, and just knew that by that point, you know, hang on to it, and we should have the drag race to the start-finish line.
Yeah, a great night of racing for you. Really to turn your season around. First 2 weeks, well, not quite up to what we normally see out of the 71 car, but come out here and make a big statement. What's the outlook for the rest of the season?
Yeah, keep on getting these. You know, Eldora was a tough one. We finished 5th in the first one after some contact. Got to apologize to those guys that I made some contact with. That race was intense, wide open dirt race, and I've never done anything like that before. And then the second race, blowing a motor, finishing dead last, and then we come back, rebounding to the winner's circle in both races. I mean, you can't rebound much better than that, Alan. I tell you what, it shows the hard work we're putting in, and we're not giving up on the season at all. You know, we're in this points hunt big time now, especially with this bonus of 10 points for winning both features. That puts me right back in the mix, and we're definitely pumped up for next week at Nashville.
Yeah, well, next week we actually go to Hickory.
Whoops. Already getting my dates confused, Al. Good thing I didn't head there.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, make sure you talk to your travel agent. Make sure that they get you to go up north here to get you into, you know, where Hickory is. But
yep.
while you get them on speed dial, who do you got to thank here to get you a sweep here tonight for Victory Lane?
Yeah, we got to thank all the Brett the Jet fans out there. You know, they make this car fast and, you know, give me the drive to put in the time to really make this car as fast as we are, put in the hours of practice that we do. You know, definitely jumped in the simulator, put in some laps here for Darlington, try and get the setup underneath me. Qualifying was definitely wild. Got to thank the teammates out there putting out the draft and whatnot to start in the second row like that. Of course, you, Al, and the Turn 3 Racing Network, one of the best broadcasts out there. Got to give a huge shout out to you, and I can't wait to rewatch this. All the fans, of course, tuning on in. I got my grandma, Grammy, tuning on in. Girlfriend, Jesse, the rest of the family, mom, dad. I believe my brother might be tuning on in. And yeah, Al, the rest of the competitors, heck of a job. Got to give Devin a huge shout out for hanging on to that car on my outside. I thought we might have been toast there, but he does a heck of a job saving that sideways race car. And yeah, I think that's about it. Of course, Tanner for putting on this series, putting these sweet paint schemes together. And I think we hit about everything. We're going to go crack open a cold one here, Al, and celebrate down in Victory Lane. Woo!
All right, there you go. Brett Hahn picking up the win here tonight and sweeping the night, earning that bonus points. Let's take a look at the Feature 2 results here for the ASRC Street Stock Scrambler Series. It's Brett Hahn picking up the win, Nick Fleury and Zach Coyer. We talked to those three drivers here from Feature number 2. David Patton and Hayden Swank will round out your top 5. Jeff Dillon, Tim Rogers, Devin McDonald, and Nathan Henry, John Kane running out your top 10. John DeMeester, Franklin Evans, and Brad Pranger will round out your field at Rand. Deontay Hewer and Tanner Tallarico, your race control here tonight. Can't thank everybody enough for tuning on in. Let's take a look at your Feature 1 results. Give you that rundown. It was Brett Hahn, Tim Rogers, and Nick Fleury. Your top 3, Franklin Evans was 4th, Zach Coyer 5th, John DeMeester, Hayden Swank, Devin McDonald, John Kane, Nathan Henry, Brad Pranger, David Patton, and Jeff Dillon. Your 13 cars in Feature number 1. Well, that'll do it for me this week here. Next week, we head to Hickory for a little short track action when we hope to see you right here. Same time, same place, here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. But until then, please keep it wheels down, and we'll see you in Turn 3.